Bones, I am mesmerised by you and your magic, and I genuinely want to know how you do it. I know a magician never gives away their secrets. But can you at least tell me how magic came about for you?
It started when I was a little kid. I was about 10 years old. My mum bought me a magic set for my birthday. And, you know, as every other kid, every other magician, I started practicing the tricks and reading the books. I just sort of continued that as I got older, and it was sort of a hobby. And now it's a profession.
And did you ever think at that moment when you got the kit for your birthday that you were going to be a professional magician?
No, that's not what I had in mind. I just wanted to learn what I was seeing on telly, and I just wanted to have these powers. And so I was more excited about playing with the toys and seeing what I could create and all these miracles I could show my parents and my aunties and uncles and friends.
I bet you were the envy of kids at school. Did you take your kit in?
I did used to show the kids at school. Yeah, I did actually, but I wouldn't say I was the envy. There was a lot of cool kids in my school. So I don't know. I used to have these little cups. These, you know, I don't know. You get these like little red cups and balls,
Yes.
And I used to sort of drag them along to school. It wasn't the coolest thing to do in the classroom at the time, but it was fun to do and practice. And obviously, as I got older, I got a bit cooler with it. You know, a bit more. Kind of the stuff I was showing earlier on with the sleight of hand and that kind of thing.
So does it take a long time to get these tricks perfect? It must do, right?
Yeah, you have to practice, you know, from the fundamentals of your sleight of hand and also the performance side of things, like how to deliver the performance and stuff like that.
So I know before you did become a professional magician, you were a dancer. Correct?
Yes.
So talk me through that and talk me through how you moved from dancing as a profession to being a magician.
Yeah, like I said, magic was always a hobby for me. It was something that I loved doing just for me and obviously showing my friends. And dancing was pretty much the same thing, but I was so good at it that it just kind of turned into a profession. Like I started doing a lot of competitions. And then I did, people would ask me to do some auditions for music videos. And at first it was just like, you know, all right, yeah, I'll just go down. It's like, I don't really care. And then I just started getting those videos and then, you know, started joining some agencies and, you know, started doing adverts and all the other things you do as a professional dancer. So it just kind of sprung up on me. And then, you know, 10 years later, I'm a professional dancer. I've had a whole career doing all bits and bobs. So
another thing that you didn't think you were actually going to do professionally?
No, actually, I studied maths in university,
wow, okay.
So I was a bit of a studious person. And this was kind of like something to, you know, get outside of, it was like an extra curricular activity that I could do that would sort of was away from books and reading and the boring stuff you do in the classroom.
Arithmetic and all of that sort of stuff. So you've gone from
differentiation and calculus.
Oh, gosh, no. So you've gone from maths to dancing to now being a magician.
Yeah.
At what point did you realise that you didn't want to dance anymore and you wanted to do magic?
I think it was my evolution as a performer. So what I used to do a lot of the time when I was performing as a dancer, during set, I would like show people like card tricks and stuff, and I'd be doing card magic. And then it just sort of evolved. People were like, oh, you do magic, like, why don't you start incorporating that in your dance and stuff? And it was just sort of casual ideas that were thrown out. And then over the years, I just thought, you know what, let me start, you know, incorporating this a little bit more professionally. And then I just evolved and went down that path.
And do you still keep a little bit of your dance in your magic now?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So it's like when I perform, my magic is on stage is just me. It's like what I enjoy, my hobbies. Obviously, dancing is a huge part of my culture. So that's what I include in my performances as a magician.
Okay. Can I see a close-up trick?
You want to see a close-up trick?
Yeah, I really do want to see one. I feel like I'm sat here, I need to take this opportunity.
Okay, well, I'll do something quite simple.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay. So I want you to think of a card.
Yes.
Yeah, you got one in your mind?
Got one in my mind.
Cool, and there's no way I could know what card you're thinking of. It's just a random card. But I am going to use the I use the free of clubs,
Okay.
which is, and I'll do this in mid-air.
Okay.
So I'll try and get some, see how it's sticking into my hand? You see how I get some static? And if I can just do this for a second.
No.
What card were you thinking of?
5 of spades. No. How do you do it? I don't understand. I genuinely don't understand how you can do that. How would you even know that that was the card that I had in my mind?
Yeah, it's a strange power we have.
So that would take you how long, roughly?
I don't know. It depends how long you're willing to, put into it and as an art form and practice. So each individual's is their own. I can't really say. It's just however long you put into it as it's your own sort of thing.
I'm still in shock. Sorry, I'm literally sat right here. And first of all, it's floating, and then you know what card I'm thinking of. It's magic, basically. Okay, so would you have to go to some sort of magic school or like Hogwarts to learn how to do magic?
No, but it is helpful to go to, if you're a young aspiring magician, to meet other magicians, go to a magician's club.
Oh, okay.
And practice amongst with your friends and stuff, and you can, it's competitive, so you can learn off each other and improve that way. That does help. But now we have YouTube. You can watch YouTube tutorials. But the best way for me personally, I think, is the old school books that no one reads anymore.
So Bones, what would you say is your career highlight to date?
My first ever music video that I booked, which was "Singing in the Rain" by Mint Royal, and that went to #1, and that was a big moment in my career as a dancer. I also got to be one of the magicians in the Impossible show.
Oh, wow.
Which toured around the world. And in fact, I got to perform in front of 14,000 people recently at the Araneta Coliseum in the Philippines.
Okay.
Which is where Muhammad Ali and Joe Frazier had the Thriller Manila.
Oh, wow.
So that was a big achievement as a magician. I also had my own TV series, which was called Around the World in 80 Tricks. So those things kind of stand out to me right now in my mind as big achievements.
Huge achievements.
Yeah. Actually, I also did close the BAFTA Awards.
I also did that.
Yeah, just throw that in there as well. At the 2018 BAFTA Awards ceremony recently. And that was a scary moment.
Really?
Yeah, because it's a whole bunch of celebs, live TV, BBC One.
Yeah, but 14,000 people?
Yeah, but live TV is 10 million people can watch that show.
Yeah, very true, very true. But you can't see them.
Yeah, but I was doing a magic trick with a coin and a BAFTA award.
Oh.
And I was in my mind, I'm not even concerned about the performance. I'm just thinking, I hope this trick doesn't go wrong. Do not drop this coin.
Don't drop the BAFTA.
It's not something, don't drop out my sleeve. Yeah, definitely don't drop the BAFTA. And then you got all the celebrities watching and everyone at home. So that was a scary moment.
But you smashed it.
Yeah, I did all right. Yeah.
You did all right, you smashed it.
I didn't read any Twitter comments because, they're not...
There's always some sort of troll out there,
They're
isn't
brutal
there?
on Twitter, so I didn't want to read that, yeah.
But how do you go from performing, for friends, family, small spaces, to 14,000 people to being on the BAFTAs, closing the BAFTAs? How do you make that transition?
I guess it's an interesting question because as a magician, you do start as an amateur, but what you do is you sort of build up your confidence by performing in front of family and friends. And then you offer your services in maybe a local restaurant, a pub, and you go around, casually doing magic, and maybe they might give you a free meal, maybe they might give you, 50 quid at the end of the night. And then you what I did was, got a website, started promoting myself via YouTube and stuff like that, made a little show reel, and then got business cards, and then went round doing tricks at events, and building what's the word?
Following.
A following,
online.
yes.
Yeah.
A following online, and then that's how I sort of started promoting myself, and then I took the plunge to invest in my own stage show. So I made my own stage show and sort of invited my family and friends, as many people I knew, and then just sort of kept on doing that. That was quite successful. And I got seen by the producers from Impossible. I also got seen by television producers. And, you know, I just sort of put my talent out there and, you know, and I got seen, and that's how I ended up getting all this.
Here we are.
Yeah. Basically, yeah.
Smashing magic. I mean, obviously, you said you started with YouTube, social media. How do you stay relevant in this climate where things are just constantly changing? It's so fast-paced.
Yeah, it's not easy, especially with something like magic, because magic is very, very brutal. It seems like it's easy on social media, but it's actually not, because social media is great, but because people can rewind, you have to make sure whatever you're doing on there is very, very, you scrutinize it a lot and make sure the camera doesn't pick up something that it's not meant to pick up, which is different in a live performance. So I just kind of, you know, promote myself on Instagram. And I'd always try and find out, you know, where's the local events and what's people into now. And I try and go down there and do, like, you know, stand-up performances at, you know, a local event. I guess that's it, really. I mean, I think it's mainly the social media, like Instagram, is where I really sort of put all my work out there.
Just constantly uploading and keeping people engaged.
Yeah, because right now it's a beautiful time where we can do our own PR, you know? So we can just promote ourselves on these platforms, so why not?
So that's that.
Yeah.
What is next for you? What's the big goal and what's coming up?
Right now, I'm working on a brand new stage show next year, which I want to do and put out. I've just shot a new TV series, first episode. I'm going to shoot another 5.
Are we allowed to know what that is?
It's well, originally it was called Black Magic.
Okay.
But the title was a bit controversial, so it's a working title. We're not.
Okay.
Right now, it's just sort of Magical Bones, the series.
Right.
And the new stage show, the title of the stage show is unnamed at the moment.
Okay.
It might be called Unboxed. It might be called All Aboard. Magical Bones Unboxed.
Okay, so keep an eye out. Right, before we go, I have got my quick fire questions for you. Okay, are you ready? First answer that comes to mind, go. Popcorn, sweet or salted?
Sweet.
Favourite football team?
Arsenal.
Magic or dancing?
Oh.
Come on.
Magical dancing.
Oh, I like that one. KFC or Nando's?
Nando's.
Card tricks or mind games?
Card tricks.
Tux or tracksuit?
Tracksuit.
Intimate show or arena tour?
Intimate show.
Okay. Spring or autumn?
Spring.
That's it. That's all we've got time for today.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, cool. Thank you for being on the show, Magical Bones. That is all we've got time for this week. But be sure to tune in next week when we'll have somebody else sat in my chair. I'll see you then.